What's up, ninjas? What is going on? Surprising Sunday. Dump trailer is fully loaded. I'm gonna have to empty it this next week, but they're calling for rain all week, so not really sure what day that's gonna be, but I gotta get that emptied and wash the truck today. And I am just at home right now, not really doing too much, but I had the trailer parked right here because I was using the dump trailer. Back up just a little. So what I wanted to talk to you ninjas about today is gorilla lifts. So there's a lot of, well, really not too many options out there on the market. I know there's gorilla lifts, and I think there's another one if I'm not mistaken. I think there's one where you just put it on one side instead of both sides of the trailer, which take up a lot of space. That's number one downfall, because if you got rid of one side, you could put a bunch of other things here. But what I wanted to talk about is I've had these gorilla lifts now for, 3-4 years, give or take, something like that. And it doesn't seem to fail. Every year, I have maintenance I have to do on these things. Something goes out every year. And if it's not the cables, if I don't replace cables one year, I'll definitely be replacing them the following year. So those things are a must. Always have a set of these, and you can pick them up on Amazon. They're pretty cheap. I think like $15, $20, something like that. But also, if this spring in here doesn't give out on you, which it hasn't given out on me now for, I want to say 2 years, but the rollers will go out, and they're going to be bad. And what I realized is all 4 of these rollers of mine have just literally gone bad. These are completely right here split in half. They're not even connected. So I did a temporary fix where I just installed a little piece of metal right here and bent it. So that way they just wouldn't come out. But of course now I'm gonna have to cut it. So that's gonna be fun. But I'll probably try to straighten it out first and see if I can avoid the cutting. But anyway, that's something that will go out. And since I realized all 4 of them have gone out, I went ahead and ordered all 4 of them. And again, I got these off of Amazon. I think they're like $20 or something for all 4 of them. So, and then they sell two of them at a time individually, but you might as well just get all 4 of them because you'll save a little bit of money, but you're going to need them eventually. And with me, it just happens to be I need all 4 of them. If you have a big gate like I do, my gate is a little bit longer. And then I have these bars across, so it adds a lot of weight. So these things do put out a lot of weight. And you can see one of the years when one of these rollers busted on me, the cable went into this. So this is not new. And this was not from just recent. This is something that's happened a few years ago. But because these rollers have all gotten eaten through, you can see right here, this cable is already starting to cut in a little. So even by changing these rollers, I might have bought myself this season, and it may not. This cable might break on me at some point this season. But I do have an extra set of cables. So, hey buddy, I do have an extra set of cables on me at all times. So if that happens, that will, I'll have to replace that. So overall, what do I think about these gorilla lifts? Well, ninjas, I don't know. They're not bad. They do the job. Downfall is you're going to take up both sides of your trailer. And but do they make the gate a lot easier? Yes, they make the gate a lot easier, which is a great help. If you don't have any kind of support for your gate, maybe you have a smaller gate as well, but it doesn't really matter. If you're doing about 15 to 20 yards a day every day, this plays a big toll on your back, and it can be exhausting and just tiring, and you're going to feel it by the end of the week for sure. And keep in mind, 15 to 20 every day. So having some kind of gate support is an absolute must, in my opinion, if you are in this business for the long haul and you're not just doing this thing on the side a little bit. but you're actually doing this as a living, then you definitely need some kind of support to help you out. So I also need to grease these things. Some people tell me grease them every 6 months. Some people tell me once a year is fine. Some people have even told me once a month. I think that's ridiculous. I say definitely every 6 months to a year, you should be fine. Just to touch them up, what you do is you take these little caps off and you just pump some grease in there. Okay. And you know, just so that way your bearings don't burn out and all that. So there's some maintenance to your trailer. But when it comes to the Gorilla Lifts, expect that to be a yearly thing, whether, like I said, it's your cables or these little rollers. It's just part of it. Now, I'm not sure for some of the other brands that are out there if they have maintenance or not. I do know one of the brands that's out there, I can't think of the name right now, but it uses chains instead of these things. So maybe those chains last a little longer. I'm not really sure. But I wanted to go ahead and just let you ninjas know this is what I'm doing today. Little man's gonna help me. And I washed the truck. And let's see, what else did I want to tell you? Oh, the SureCan. Hold on, buddy. Let's put this here for now, okay? The SureCan, this is a couple-year-old SureCan, and it works perfectly fine. But this plastic right here, just from guys in general over time bending, it busted and it was leaking. Still functional, and we were still able to fill up our blowers and trimmers. But every time you can see right here, every time we were using it, it would be leaking a little bit, and it was always going on this fender. And so I got really tired of that, and I know it's getting dark in here, but I ended up replacing this piece from one of the old SureCans that I just had laying around. And I just replaced it. And I think one of the SureCans that I took this off of, it had a busted thing here or something. I can't remember, but it was not a SureCan that I wanted to put on here. So I ended up just taking this plastic off, and now that's fixed, so it's not leaking anymore. So here we got that Maruyama blower BL70, still a great blower. I've been using it towards the end of this last season, and I plan on using it this upcoming season. It's a perfect blower, honestly, just for your grass clippings and just blowing off your driveways and walkways. Wouldn't really recommend too much of this for a leaf cleanup, just because you have many more options that are better out there, that are more powerful. And I'm sure Maruyama probably has a stronger blower out there for leaf cleanups, but I would say this is perfect for your just grass. If I was to compare it, and I'm not being exactly word for word, but I'd say it's the closest to like an Echo 770 or something like that, which the 770s did great on leaf cleanups as well. But of course, you know, they weren't as powerful as what's out there, like the 8010s and the 9010s and things like that. But I still got the Stihl BR800C right here. Haven't used it as much this last season, so I started using it right around fall time. And yeah, I used it around fall time in the leaf cleanups, and then I'm gonna keep this on the trailer, so I will go ahead and use this definitely coming up in this spring and summer, whether it's cleanups or just grass clippings or whatever. Still got my EBZ 8550. This is the Red Max version. Great blower. I did have a cord go out on me, so I had to replace that cord. Got it replaced. I showed it on Instagram at SG_ninjas_official. I bought a bunch of parts, and the cord was one of them that I showed. So I finally got that replaced. I did take care of all my maintenance. Let me go around and show you. I washed everything. Well, not everything, obviously. But I rinsed them down. And the 2620T right here, the 3020T, and that's just the spare. But I ended up getting fuel filters, air filters, and spark plugs for both of them. The 3020T is a monster. I mean, this thing is really powerful, but it has something wrong with it, and I'm pretty sure it's the clutch. You see how this one travels freely? This one will not. See how it comes back? Okay, so I'm thinking it's the clutch, and how I know is when I turn them on, this one doesn't spin until you hit the throttle. But when you hit the when you turn this one on, it spins automatically and it stays spinning. So it's still a good trimmer. It does the job, but you just got to be careful if you're using it that you don't just set the head down on the grass, because you're gonna hit a bare spot with it because it's constantly turning. So I did the maintenance on these. I washed them, of course. I also did the maintenance on my 2 chainsaws. I did the spark plug and the air filter on those. And so I am set with that. I will be making a trip. There's no editing on this video, as I'm sure you can tell. I'm just doing this quickly off my phone. I will be doing a trip to my dealership. I'm hoping tomorrow. We'll see on the weather. And maybe tomorrow or next day. But at some point this week, they're calling rain most of this week. So I don't think we're going to get much done. And as I've stated to you ninjas, I think at some point last year, I'm going to try to get at least one Red Max trimmer. And so that way I can compare them and see, but I'm going to get the top of the line Red Max trimmer, whatever they have. I'm not really sure what their numbers are. And just so I can compare and see what they are. I think Red Max is what the dealer where I go to carries. So I'll be able to compare that. A lot of you asked me, do you go Steel? Do you go Echo? I don't know, ninjas. I've just ran Echo all these years, and I'm used to them. So they're just great trimmers. I've got a couple of Steels. Nothing wrong with them. They're just underpowered. The FS91R is definitely underpowered for my area and the type of grass that I cut, which is mostly weeds. It's okay, I think, for weekly yards. And of course, I got this big boy right here, which I do have the attachment that you can change. But this is the KM131R. That one is really powerful, but it's also really heavy. So I'm not really sure if I would even want to use that on a daily as far as a trimmer. The 2620T is a perfect weight trimmer for what you need as far as your daily. And then if you really want to just bump it up to a 3020T right there, going to be a little bit heavier, not going to lie, but it's awesome for just if you ever come across some overgrown stuff or anything really wild, it will do the job. So anyway, that is what I'm doing. I'm losing daylight here, and I definitely want to take care of that before we call it quits here and go in the house. The trailer was disconnected, so I just connected it right there and just pulled it forward so I can drop the gate a little bit. But I hope all you ninjas are doing well. I'll keep you posted how this upcoming week goes for me. Depending on the weather, and then whatever day I decide to end up going to the dealership, I'll definitely bring you along with me, as I know you guys enjoy always hearing from my dealer as much as I do. He's very knowledgeable, and he always gives us a little bit of an update as far as the kind of equipment he's carrying, what kind of stuff he has in stock, and then also gives us a little bit of, what would you call it? Some insight in the industry as far as, certain companies, what's troubling, what they're working with right now, what they're dealing with. Good one. Are you going to park it there? So anyway, all right, thanks for tuning in for another one. So just to sum up this video, basically, I know I kind of went around everything, talked about a little bit of everything, but if you do have Gorilla lifts, just plan on having a maintenance thing with them every year. Yes, I'm making another video. So just a heads up, whether it's going to be your little rollers or that cable, something will go out. And if it doesn't go out within 1 year, it'll definitely be by second year. I haven't had anything go past at least 1.5 to 2 years. Something always breaks. So, and I'm having to replace it all the time. And make sure, of course, you grease your bearings and your axles on your trailer. That's really important. As much as we tow all this stuff around constantly every day, nonstop all year long, we probably tend to forget how important that is. So, all right, ninjas, take care. Have a good one. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.